What's going on, everybody? Get the Raging Rob here. Another video as we're just getting over the verdict of Derek Chauvin, guilty on 3 counts. I don't agree with the verdict. I I think he should have been found guilty on involuntary manslaughter. He did. I don't believe in. I don't believe that he should have been leaning on the neck after the guy was handcuffed on the ground. There's no reason to be leaning on the neck. If he was that much of a threat, they should have hogtied him. You know, and at least got a medic over there if he was in the middle of a drug overdose. So I don't agree with what happened with George Floyd as far as him being murdered, but I don't believe he was murdered. I think his drugs had a lot to do with him dying. I don't believe that Derek Chauvin intended to kill George Floyd. I don't believe that, I don't believe, he was reckless in the, and what happened. Don't get me wrong. So, if anything, Derek Chauvin should have been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. I don't believe that him kneeling on the neck. I believe it was a factor in his death, in George Floyd's death, but I don't believe that's what killed him. I believe a lot of it had to do with George Floyd being high on drugs, high on fentanyl, whatever the fuck his problem was. He had heart problems too, so that was probably a factor in his death as well. I don't believe that Derek Chauvin should have been found guilty on second-degree murder and third-degree murder. Second-degree manslaughter, it's tough to say. Maybe. But as far as all 3 counts, I don't think he should have been found guilty in all 3 counts. On the 1 count, second-degree manslaughter, maybe. But, don't get me wrong. Derek Chauvin deserves to go to prison. Okay? He's a reckless cop. He had lots of complaints on him in the past. He was a scumbag officer, don't get me wrong. So I have mixed feelings about today's verdict. I don't agree with that 100%. But, he shouldn't be on the force. Let me just say that. But anyway, we have another shooting in Columbus, Ohio. This actually was going on at the same time the verdict was being read, from my understanding. One person is dead after being shot Tuesday afternoon on the southeast side of Columbus, according to the Columbus Division of Police. Officers were called to the 3100 block of Legion Lane and north of Chatterton Road just after 4:30 for a disturbance. One person was shot, taken to the hospital in critical condition, where that person later died. No name is given out, but it has been identified as a 15-year-old girl. So now the cops are going to start shooting black girls, is what I'm seeing. Sorry, I was kind of racist. I'm not a racist. I'm just saying. I did some search on statistics of how many whites and blacks were killed by the police so far this year. So far this year, 2021, and it's a lot. It's way more than it should be, of any race. So far, hold on, let me pull up the numbers here. Gotta log into my other account. I sent the numbers out to my friend. It's like double the number of whites that were killed, according to blacks. I think it's 53 blacks. No, 55 blacks. Of those 55, 3 of them were unarmed. 109 whites were killed this year so far by police. Of those 109, 5 were unarmed. So let me rephrase that again. So far this year, police fatalities, 55 blacks, 3 of them unarmed, 109 whites, 5 of them unarmed. So, speaks for itself. Double the number of whites blacks that were killed this year up to April 12th of this year, 2021. That number, wow, that's 160 something, way high. You got nations out there where like maybe 1 or 2 die from police a year. We got a problem, 160 people getting killed a year from police. I don't really see it as a police problem. I see it as a crime problem. Okay, too many people out there breaking the law and being criminals. Yeah, we're one of the highest crime rates in the world. We have a crime problem here in this country. It's not a race problem. It's a crime problem, if you ask me. So we don't know what's going to happen in Columbus, Ohio. We don't know. The details are sketchy. It just happened this afternoon, so don't know if it was justified or not. Somebody said that there was a knife involved, maybe pointed at the cops. I don't know if that's true or not. Just what's being said. This is in Columbus. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations is on scene for the investigation. Additional information on the shooting was not immediately available. So this is this is in Columbus, Ohio. There was another high-profile shooting, I think, last month in Columbus, Ohio. So if you want to blame who are the real racists and who are the real white supremacists in this game, it's the mainstream media. Okay, I got the stats, and the stats is double the number of whites have been killed by police this year than blacks. It was that way last year, and it was that way the year before. Why do we hear about more blacks dying? Because the mainstream media likes to blow it up. They love pushing the race card. It's good for their agenda. They like to get shit going. And you see all the riots happen and everything else. The mainstream media is the one responsible for murder, mayhem, and purge in this country. Okay? So anything that happens after one of these shootings and the mainstream media likes blowing it up, the blood, the sacrilege, the purging, the chaos, and the riots, it is on the mainstream media's hands. The blood is on their hands. Okay? Not the cops. The media. All you rioters and protesters, why are you not on the doorsteps of these media headquarters, okay, protesting? No, you're at the fucking police station. No, you're flipping cop cars. Okay, I don't advocate for violence, but you should be flipping news vans, not cop cars, okay? The mainstream media is the enemy. That's all I'm going to say. So, breaking news, Columbus, Ohio. Don't know the full details yet. It's too early to tell. But that's it.